we are informing our parents that it is a constitutional requirement that all our children are given an opportunity to go through the basic education. And basic education is 12 years of learning, which runs from grade 1 to Form 4. And we are asking also our ed teachers, mainly those who are in our public schools, that these are public institutions. So when children come, let's accept them first into school, then we can see as a society how we make sure that their school fees and other requirements are met. But the first thing is that we should not return any kid who has come to school. Let's report to our field officers that we have these kids who have come, they have not paid anything, then we can see how we can deal with that issue as government. We were able to issue 12,000 scholarships across the country, mainly also working with our partners this year, our development partners. We were also able to take care of some of our children. I'm calling them our children because all children are ours. Those who are in refugee centers, both in Kakuma and in Dadaab, working with the World Bank and other partners, we were able to take some of the 4,000 refugee children to our schools so that they can also be able to progress, so that they don't suffer twice. Our officers also have been doing quite some good work in making sure that we identify and make sure that no child is left behind. And for quite some time now, we've been having a multi-agency team of ourselves, Ministry of Interior, and all our other social partners, of making sure that our 100% transition policy is realized. For the last 3-4 years, this has happened quite well. This year, notwithstanding the drought and the challenges that are there, the reporting to school has been quite good. And I would want to thank our parents. I would want to thank all the good people who have assisted these kids to report. For those who are having challenges, quite a number of corporates have worked with us. I'm also asking parents that they should not stay with their kids at home. In fact, where it is difficult, let's take to our kids to the next day school around our homes. As government, we are putting in a lot of investment to ensure that we invest in all our schools. And we are putting in even more efforts to invest in our day schools. Majority of the teachers that we recruited, other than those who are going to junior school, a substantial number of them are going to our day schools so that they can also we are also able to build on their capacity to be able to take care of more of our children. So we urge our parents, we urge our colleagues in government, mainly in the Ministry of Interior, because we have a good network all the way to our assistant chiefs, that we have to go to every home and make sure that our children are in school. As I said, the reporting this year has been very good, I can say that. I'm very sure that as we consolidate numbers, I know there are kids who have moved from one school to another. So as we put up our numbers, and I know our officers, we are told them by 3 o'clock today, we should have consolidated those numbers so that we can know those who are moved from one school to another. Because sometimes as we build up on the names numbers, with a unique personal identifier, we shall be able to acknowledge those kids who have moved and therefore consolidate our numbers. As we build up the reports on reporting and we consolidate these numbers, I'm sure by end of week, when we give you the final statistics, we see and we are sure that we shall have been able to capture all our children. The 1.2 million children in grade 6, the almost 1.255 kids in class 8. And you know, sometimes when you look at the number of who did exams, they include those who did in prisons, they include those who did private, they include, so as we place them, then we shall be phasing out those who may have done as private candidates and they have not necessarily supposed to join grade class Form 1. But I can tell you the reporting this year has been very good. We are doing our last group of class 8 next year. We would want to make sure that we close off this particular category of learning in a way that we continue achieving 100% transition. We are preparing ourselves as government, and I would want to thank most sincerely the county governments and our MPs. Like today in Kiaru, they were doing a bursary handing over of children to go to Form 1. And Mandera County, I want to single out Mandera because Mandera paid for every kid in secondary school from Form 1 to Form 4 at 60% of the fees that was required, so that it would make it possible for schools to run. Because you know these are places where they depend on livestock, and most of the livestock was wiped out by the drought, and therefore they would not have been able to pay school fees, and that would have made it very difficult for schools to run. So we are so grateful that as Kenyans, we are converging together to make sure that we are all are able to make sure that our children go to school. Tunakuja kuangalia watoto wetu tunawataka to school. And this is his scholarship, and all will be paid for. And KCB also is taken care of all the other incidentals in terms of his pocket money, in terms of some of the small things, personal effects that he might need to buy. So that has been taken care of by this scholarship. Momo, sasa wewe ni kama kitu, kuna kitu kingine. Watapata fees wanatupea another additional. Sasa wewe hata nilikuwa natetea sasa ile that's what now they need to run they are on the relay. Hiyo pata sasa wao relay. Sasa relay sisi tunataka kwa